Hello and welcome to the 2017-2018 registration process for rising 11th graders. This process is very similar to last year. If you weren't here last year, we will give you a step-by-step guide on how to register through Navient. And for those of you who did register last year, there's a quick update on how to do that. So first thing you want to do is go on to the sign-in page for Navient, and you can do that by going to connection.navient.com/UrbanaHS, and that should bring you to this Welcome to Family Connection page. I have put in a fake student so that I can log in as you will be. So we'll do that for most of you. This login, your email, if you've changed it, which you likely did, it could be a Gmail or a Yahoo that you used. And then passwords for most students will still be their student ID unless you have updated that. If you cannot remember your password, there's a Forgot Password button down here that you can link to, and it should send it to an email that you have on file. If none of those are working for you, please contact your counselor for that information. So we'll go ahead and log on here. And that's going to bring us to our home page. On our home page, you will be assigned a task from one of the counselors to do your registration sheet. It shows up right here. Before we get into that, though, I'm going to show you a little bit about our document library that's over here on the right side. When you open that up, there's information about the 2017 registration process. So here is information from all the different teachers, the course offerings in each area, plus the full offering guide from FCPS that describes each of the courses that you may not know exactly what goes on in those classes. This would be a guide to that. And then the regular planning guide that sort of can help you picking all your classes for the rest of the time that you're here with us. There's performing arts, sequencing, foreign language, all that kind of stuff in here. And then if you go back, there's lots of other college materials, CTC paperwork, internship, schedule changes, all kinds of things in here you might need later. Okay, but back on our home page, you would select the registration sheet, and that's going to bring you to this tab. You want to go down to where it says, to complete this task, you need to complete a survey. So go ahead and click on that. And there'll be lots of questions here. If you registered last year, it looks exactly the same. There's some different offerings. You want to make sure that you're putting in your full student name. You want to put in your parents' email, phone number, and then whoever's helping you with this. If we have questions or we're not sure about choices made, we usually contact the parent or guardian that you have on your list, and make sure you are getting in touch with someone, letting them know that you've discussed these courses with them. So the first couple questions, are you currently attending CTC? And there's a note, if you are, that you want to select 4 courses and 2 alternates because half of your day you're spending over there at CTC. Or if you've applied to a program that might start next year, you say yes or no. These are all required questions when they have a star. Then your English choices. So there's a couple English choices for next year. English Honors, regular English Ed, and then AP Comp. There's also a note that if you take AP Comp in 11th grade, then that would move you into Lit in 12th grade. If you're thinking about any of the FCC choices, there is questions about them on the bottom of the page. There are not. Okay. So you would select one of these courses. Say for this, we'll do English Honors. You also have to have a math course. So you not only need to have 4 credits in math to graduate, you now need to have a math every year you're here. So depending on what course you took last year, you would take the next in line. So algebra, then goes geometry, algebra 2, pre-calculus, calculus is the order. So if you are in geometry, let's say we're going into algebra, you can double up algebra 2 and pre-calculus. If you are moving on to pre-calculus in 11th grade, though, you cannot double up in 11th with calculus. Calculus is a full year course, so you would have to wait until 12th grade to proceed on to calculus. Go down to social studies. These are your social studies choices for 11th grade. You can either do the regular American Studies Honors, or the AP version, a semester-long or a full year-long version of that. Take one of those choices. Your science courses. So you can make your next choice. You should have already had bio in 10th grade, and another course, probably ICP or a chemistry course in 9th, but if that hasn't been taken already, you can go ahead and choose that in 11th or any of the other options. Make sure you're choosing a personal finance if you have not already taken one in 9th or 10th grade. There is the half credit version, which is personal finance, and then the second half is SAT prep, or any of these other ones. We'll say we're taking the full year or the full semester money and finance. And then you have lots of other choices for academics that you can take. Okay. And then alternate. So any of these courses you're interested in, if you need your fine art still, you can choose one of those. If you have not yet taken your tech credit, Foundations of Computer Science or Tech will do there. And then you always want to make sure that you are getting 8 courses unless you're CTC. So you have English, Algebra 2, and then Pre-Calculus 3, American Studies 4, Chem 5, Money 6, and we have 7 with our fine art and 8 with our Foundations of Computer Science. So another thing to note is if you're looking at a 4-year college, you want to make sure that you have had 2 years of the same language, or 2 semesters, 2 credits, of the same language while you're here. So you want to make sure that you fill that out. Once you've picked all your classes, you go down and you want to make sure that you're also picking 2 alternates. It is likely that you may not get all of your first choices, so you want to make sure you have backup. So you will put 2 in. You can actually do that by copying, right-click and pasting into place to make sure that you get the number correct. So let's just grab 2 we can see here. Put them in. And then you're going to have to answer these questions that have stars by them. So first, I'm interested in an intern position. So if you are interested in interning, we have NCI internships and various other internships that Ms. Duwall handles. So if you are interested in that, you'd say yes, and that puts us on a list to call you down and talk to you about that. Same with SSL or an aide position, taking any online classes. Even though you're not an IB student, you may be interested in taking an IB course. And then the last is just to affirm that you have correctly chosen all of these. You hit yes. If you're not sure about these choices and there's still time left for you to come back, you can say save and return later. But if not and you completely finish, you can just say save, I'm finished, and that uploads it to your counselors. I'll choose that for now. And that finishes up. It's pretty easy. You can access Navient at any time. You don't have to do it from school. You can log in at home. If you have other questions, you can ask any of your counselors or email them. I hope that helps. Have a great day.